What's up, y'all? It's me, it's your boy Asmongold. As you can see, I'm on barbecue beard today, and the reason for that is this guide is going to be about how to gear for challenge modes. And the first part of this guide is going to be about gear. Basically, you want to be looking for gear that has a lot of sockets. The first thing is your helmet needs to have a meta gem and a gem on top of that. Almost all do. The legendary meta gem does not work, so make sure you just use a normal meta gem. The neck. You can get a 2-socket neck for casters from Wei Shen, but other than that, you want to make sure you have a neck that has 1 socket. The shoulders, except for shoulders that basically never drop from Garage to their plate DPS shoulders, you want to make sure you have shoulders with 2 sockets. For cloak, you want to make sure you have a cloak with 1 socket. Your legendary cloak does work, but it doesn't, or you can use it, but the proc doesn't activate, and so take that how you will. If you still think it'll be better, then use it. If not, use something else. The chest, you want to make sure you have 3 sockets in your chest. And almost all tier chests and a lot of other offset chests also have 3 sockets in them. There's one set of bracers from TOT that's random enchant that you can get, and it has a socket built into it. And so you obviously want to try and have those. If you can't, it's not really that big of a deal, but obviously this is the best thing that you can possibly have for a weapon. You want to make sure you have a socketed weapon, and you're using an offhand main hand combo for 3 sockets. 1 socket from the offhand and 2 sockets on the main hand. The first one is going to be obviously on the item to begin with, and the second socket is going to be from the Eye of the Black Prince. And you can, by the way, only use that on gear that's before Siege of Orgrimmar. You can't use it on Siege of Orgrimmar items. Gloves, you can get a 2-socket set of gloves, and obviously 3-socket with the blacksmithing thing. And most tier gloves have those, and I think there's a couple others that also have 2 sockets, but there are no gloves, I don't think, that have 3 sockets naturally. No, there's not. And for belt, you need a 3-socket belt, and there are so many of those. And so don't even worry about that, just make sure you have a 3-socket belt. For leggings, there are actually 3-socket leggings, and there's only a few in the game. And I think there's one for every class somewhere. And so this is the one that I got from Wei Shen. This is like pretty much best in slot for me for challenge modes. And so make sure you have those. Boots, almost all boots have a socket built into them now, but make sure you have 1 socket in your boots. And rings also have, there are socketed rings in TOT. But if the stats for the socketed ring are not very good for you, you probably just want to use a normal ring with no sockets in it that just has your 2 best stats. Okay, besides all that, you also want to make sure you have everything like gemmed and enchanted, pretty much duh. For your trinkets, you want to also, a lot of people forget about these, but there's the Darkmoon Faire trinkets, and you want to make sure that you use those because they already give you a main stat and then they proc for your main stat again, and for most people their main stat is their best stat, and so you probably want to use a Darkmoon Faire trinket, but if not, I would be surprised, but you definitely do want to look into that. Other than that, let me think. For what's it called? Professions, you want to have engineering and leatherworking, especially engineering. You really only need 1 leatherworker in your raid. And the reason you want a leather worker is so you can get drums of speed, and you want engineering because you can get the belt enchants and also the glider, which allows you to kind of save off, I don't know, a few seconds here and there in the challenge mode. Mainly it's the belt enchants, and so you can obviously get the belt boost, and you can also get on top of that, the invisibility field with the belt, which is like really, really good because it allows you to not have to use an invisibility potion, and then you can do more DPS. And so besides that, now we're just going to kind of go around to the different places, and I'm going to show you guys just the different little items that you can get to kind of save yourself time. The first item that you want to make sure that you have is something called Restorative Amber. As you can see here, you can buy it at Honored. Like, I've never even done quests here, and I can buy it. And basically all it does is it's just like a really, really fast food buff, or not food buff, but it just like restores your mana very, very quickly. It's mainly just for healers, but as for DPS, I guess maybe you might want to have some on you just for whatever weird circumstance might come up. They are expensive, but again, you don't want to spend a lot of time doing challenge modes, and if you're the kind of person who really gives a shit about this, 8 gold for a food thing is not a big deal. And so you want to make sure that you always have a lot of these and you're ready to use them for challenge modes. They're very important, especially for healers. The next item that you're going to be looking for is something called the Battle Horn. And the reason that you want the Battle Horn is it makes a lot of AoE pulls very easy, basically. What the Battle Horn does is you just click it and it will aggro everything around you in like a 40-yard radius. And as you can see, there's probably somebody else looking for it too. And the reason I'm here is that this is where the rare spawn that drops it is. You mainly just need this if you're a tank, but it's good to have if you're any class, just if the tank's one is on cooldown or you need to chain them in some place like Stolements. And you want to make sure that you can get it. And if you can't get the rare spawn here, it also drops from the Ordos guys over here. I think it's the Oathbreakers that drop it specifically, and it drops from the first like plateau where all the guys you can kill for rep are. So you can see where my mouse is. It drops from those guys there. And so you can always get it there if you can't find a rare spawn. The next item that you'd really like to have for challenge modes is the Stallion War Banner. And the reason for that is it basically gives you a vanish in challenge modes. It's not usable in raids, by the way. It was hotfixed and changed, but it is still usable in dungeons. And so it drops right. Let me show you guys right here, next to where Galleon is. It's from the Stallion War Scout. And if everybody in your group has them, it will allow you to do all kinds of really awesome pulls and save you a bunch of time. And so if you can coordinate that, it's awesome to have, and especially just if you aggro something and before anybody else notices, you can click this and make it so where people don't notice that you fucked up. But anyway, the Stallion War Banner is definitely very good, but it's also something that you have to use very precisely. And so if you're a very advanced player, you probably already know where this is, or you probably already have it. But if not, this is definitely something that you will need to have if you do intend on being very serious about this. The last item that you want to make sure that you have is the Rod of Amber Shaping. And what that does is it's basically an instant CC that you can use on anything within, I don't know, I think it's got like a minute cooldown, and it CCs them for a minute. And so it's very useful for challenge modes, especially just for doing something on the fly, stopping a cast, all kinds of different things you can use. It's great to have, and it drops from the rare spawn that spawns right here. And as you can see on my map, his name is, what is his name? Oh god, I'm going to mess this up. Skethic? So make sure you can kill him and get the Rod of Amber Shaping. And anyway, I think that's pretty much all I've got for you guys in terms of just like items and things you can bring into the challenge mode. And hopefully I can bring you guys some guides pretty soon on all of the little things that you can do to basically make gold. Not even a big deal. Not even a big deal. I did it on my Warlock the other day, and I did all of them in one day, and most of that is because I know all of these little shortcuts that you can take and things that you can do to save time. And if you guys know that too, obviously it's going to help you all a lot. So, like, comment, subscribe, and thanks.